Hello, Leo. Welcome to your October reading. Let's go ahead and get started here with an oracle card. So what is it that Leo needs to know for October? Okay, we have a card that says flow. This came out for Cancer, I believe, as well. So now there's going to be a lot of activity this month. And I think generally speaking, October is going to require a lot of focus and dedication and a lot of hard work. Yet there is still going to be a lot of universal intervention. And so while you are still showing up, it is going to be really important to be flexible and to be able to adapt easily to new circumstances that are coming online. Because with all this astrological activity, we've got the eclipse happening tomorrow. We have Jupiter stationing retrograde. We have Pluto stationing direct. So there's also Mars is kind of starting to come through that pre-shadow phase near the end of October as he prepares for a retrograde in December. So there's just a real need for us to be aware that life is changing quite rapidly, or it has the potential to change quite rapidly. And we want to be ready for it. We want to be able to handle that, which I know you're able to handle it. I think you're beyond ready for it, but sometimes we kind of get caught off guard when it actually requires us to be available for it. So this is going to be a month to flow, to not stay too rigid or too stubborn, to kind of surrender to the opportunities that come through to you, listening to that instinct and kind of going from there. Okay, we have the snake spirit, which says it's time to heal. Because it is time for you, I think, to have some really good stuff happen to kind of compensate for the things that haven't worked out so well. And it's time for you to have the beneficial things that you deserve, really. And that can be a very healing experience, especially if you've been holding on to any kind of sadness or anything like that. You know, we want to just be ready for the next chapter, because the next chapter in and of itself is going to be very, very healing. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the tarot cards and see what the tarot has to say for Leo this month. So what does Leo need to know for October 2024? Okay, we start off with the Emperor, the Three of Cups, and the Knight of Cups. Okay, I really love this start because first of all, with the Emperor, it speaks to self-empowerment and it speaks to understanding that everything that you do has to be rooted in some form of self-respect. And if there's something that you have in your life, some kind of situation or circumstance that you're really not happy with, this is a time for you to say, I'm not happy with that, and I'm going to do something about it. And the Emperor is extremely proactive. He has a work ethic, he has dedication, he has commitment. There's a lot of masculine energy, and I'll be honest, I am seeing tons of masculine energy this month, tons and tons. So it's really up to us to put the effort into it to create. I mean, the masculine energy can be especially creative. It's I don't know, I'm not going to say it's more creative than the feminine energy, but it definitely has its own way of going about creating, and it goes about that in an external worldly type of way. This is a time to be in the world, to work physically with your hands, to get the projects done, to make the phone calls, to set up the meetings, to go to the places, to take the pictures, to write the things, right? It's time for you to really do the tangible things. And the Emperor knows that. All right. And where does this play into the flow and the healing? Because it's through that process that you're going to have new ideas, new opportunities are going to come online for you. People are going to be like, hey, Leo, did you ever think of X, Y, or Z? And you're going to be like, no, I didn't really think of it. That's interesting. Maybe I should incorporate that or integrate that, or maybe I should take that new path because that actually makes a lot of sense for me, right? So you want to be really available to the information that's around you. Now, this eclipse that's happening on the 2nd, there's going to be a fallout from that over the following weeks. Okay, so when I talk about the eclipse, I don't just mean October 2nd. Okay, I mean the weeks to come. And because the eclipse is in Libra, there is a lot of relational stuff going on. Now, I want to talk about this Three of Cups in two different ways. One is a little bit more positive and one not so much, okay? in the positive sense, that Three of Cups is making sure that you are surrounding yourself with people that uplift you, people that make you laugh, people that listen to your stories and you listen to their stories, and you have a really good time and you inspire one another, you motivate one another, you bring a lot of value to the table, and you can really just go out and have a good time in addition to bringing value to life, right? To each other's lives. These are friends, these are colleagues. There could be a spouse or a romantic thing in here, although this isn't normally a romantic card, but I'm not going to limit it to platonic relationships. It really could be anything. And it's if you don't have a circle of high quality individuals that make you feel really good and excited about your life, it's time to really reevaluate the relationships that you have and the relationships that you continue investing in. On the not so positive side, the Three of Cups can be a little gossipy. All right, there can be kind of an echo chamber quality that comes through where maybe you're just kind of surrounding yourself with people that like to say things that you like to hear, and it just is confirmation bias over and over and over again. That's probably not going to be the best type of connection for you to hold right now. See, the thing is that astrologically, we are being asked to make pretty big changes. And I mean really big ones that, take us to new cities or that get us to the next stage in a relationship, like getting married or having children or buying that house you've been eyeing for forever, or starting that business you've been thinking about forever. That's kind of the environment that we're in right now and will continue to be in until next year. And people that are not motivating, people that are just gossipy or that talk behind your back, or anything where there's any kind of negative feedback loop, it's not going to be ideal for you. So you want to really pay attention to your circle. It's probably one of the most important things that you can do right now. Because when I look at this Knight of Cups, similar to the Emperor, but I like the Knight of Cups because there's a lot of belief with the Knight of, like self-belief with the Knight of Cups. And we want to make sure that you're surrounding with people that believe in you, so it makes it easier for you to believe in yourself. The Knight of Cups, we need to understand, is connected with the Jupiter transit. Jupiter is stationing retrograde this month. And when Jupiter retrogrades, it kind of internalizes the Jupiterian energy, which means there's going to be a lot more self-belief, a lot more self-respect. There's going to be that notion like anything is possible because it's me, because I can do it. I know that I can achieve my dream because it's me and I can rely on me. So there's a lot of that going on. Jupiter is also in the 11th house. So that's also probably one of the additional things that's going on with your friend groups there. But we do need that self-belief, and we do need to have that optimism. We do need to have that faith. The Knight of Cups can sometimes take on a little bit of a romantic approach. Tends to romanticize the things, but I kind of like that for you right now, Leo, because why not romanticize the process? I think that's a part of the flow. That's a part of the healing, is, making these big life changes is something that is very exciting, something you can be enthusiastic and really, really happy about. And, to kind of, let's just pump everything up. Let's just make everything as good as it can be. We have a Knight of Coins. We have a Page of Wands. Queen of Cups. Okay, so there's people. I'm kind of seeing you coming out as the Knight for some reason. Maybe it's because it's the masculine energy. I'm not quite sure. This is the more romantic part of you. And yes, I know Leo can be an exceptionally romantic sign, so that's not going to be that much of a problem. This is the more practical side of you, which I also know you have. See, the thing about the Knight of Coins, especially in combination with the Emperor, is it is so dedicated to the day-to-day. Now, this isn't really a common message that I'm getting for the month of October for all the other zodiac signs, so this does seem to be something really special for Leo. is that you are still kind of in this process of focusing on the mundane, the routine, getting everything organized, getting everything prepared, working on your finances and your budget, working on the strategies and all that kind of stuff, and making sure you have all the resources at play. Because the Emperor has big dreams, the Emperor has big ambitions, and you're going to need to make sure that everything is set up properly in order to attain those ambitions. This is probably why the flow, again, is so important, because when you're in the flow, actually, the Knight of Cups the Knight of Coins is weirdly a very flow-oriented energy. It might be focused on the day-to-day and the more boring parts of the day and the tedium of every day, but it doesn't mean you're not in a flow state. I'm kind of seeing a nice routine for Leo, and that routine is going to be really important. Now, there might be some changes to that routine, but either way, whatever it is you're integrating, it seems to be very supportive of the life that you're trying to create. So, if you're starting to date someone new, let's say, and you kind of have to make time for that person, you have to make space for that person, but that's okay, right? You have to integrate them into your everyday life, but of course that's okay, because you want to build a life with this person, right? So it kind of goes hand in hand. I think you're ready to handle that type of stuff. I don't know why that page is kind of giving me a sinister feel. Man, the pages have been all over the place this month. Like, to me, there's no consistent feeling with the pages, and being underneath that Three of Cups, it just kind of makes me a little bit nervous that someone, gosh, and I hate to be so, and these are not typically the readings that I do, but I found myself a lot of the signs this month kind of have this external influence that's not super great. It's like these external people coming in, they're trying to tell you stuff, they're trying to connect with you, they're trying to get back together with you, they're trying to offer you stuff. And, you are going to have to be really not guarded in a bad way, but just really on point with what you want. Like, if you are faltering or floundering in terms of what you want, that page could kind of get a hold. And I don't think you want them to have a hold on you or to kind of get in there, because I don't know that the page fits this story. I don't know that the page fits what it is you're trying to do. The page doesn't necessarily fit in your positive friend group. It doesn't necessarily fit with any new relationships that you're cultivating. It doesn't necessarily even fit with the new jobs and new career changes that you're trying to make. It just kind of feels like a nuisance. So again, you may have to deal with some type of a nuisance. I want to remind you that when Pluto entered Capricorn, at the beginning of September, I did mention that a lot of stuff from the past was going to be kind of coming back. Now, this might not be someone from the past necessarily. It could be, but it's kind of like it could be someone from the past, or it could be a circumstance that arises that is reminiscent of something from the past. I don't know if you remember me saying this last month. But if there is something that is reminiscent of the past, it's not meant for revival. It's not meant for you to say, okay, let's give it, the 15th shot. It's meant for you to act and behave in a different way that is more conducive to the life that you want. This is an opportunity to establish your boundaries, to communicate effectively, to be very clear and self-expressive in terms of what works and what doesn't. So I don't know that the page is really here to integrate into your life or anything like that, but it is here as an opportunity for you to declare more effectively and more clearly with the universe what you want. And you do that by saying, no, Page of Wands, I don't want what you're offering. I don't want to hear this. I don't want to listen to this. I don't want to see you. I don't want anything to do with this. Oh, sorry, little fly, I think. So, there's the power with the Emperor, and I have no issue in believing that you can do that. You're a Leo, of course you can. And this is just your chance to really make it known. Remember that when something like this comes through, it's not necessarily for you, it's for you to have, it's for you to create with. You are creating through rejection, I would say. The Queen of Cups doesn't feel like you either. I'm really seeing you more the Knight and the Emperor. So the Queen of Cups feels like a much higher quality person. And maybe there's the contrast between the two. And that's why I felt the contrast with the Three of Cups, is there's very clearly two sets of people or two groups of people that you are associating with right now, or have associations with, where the Queen of Cups is so much more on your level, so much more operating at your speed. There is nothing sinister or nefarious coming through with that whatsoever. I actually feel a deep, deep love and appreciation for the Queen of Cups. So this is someone, again, emotionally supportive, someone who is really positive and sees the potential in a lot of your ideas, and who will also be honest with you in terms of feedback. They're not going to lie to you in any way, shape, or form, but they appreciate your optimism with that Knight of Cups. They appreciate your self-belief, because I think they have that too. And they understand that self-belief is such an important marker for creating life. I don't know that the Page of Wands necessarily gets that. I think the Page of Wands in this context, it's feeling really, really greedy to me. There's an entitlement factor, and you might be seeing a lot of people who are really entitled, and you're just kind of like, you know what? If you're not willing to do the work, if you're not willing to grow, you're not willing to, really put your back into it, then it's not meant to be yours, So here we have, now this is the beginning of Scorpio season as the sun comes in through Scorpio at the end of October. Keep in mind, this is also Mercury pre-shadow, just coming into those latter degrees of Cancer. Mercury will be in pre-shadow through the whole of November as well, as Mercury starts to slow way down. Eventually we'll move into Leo, into your sign, and then it will retrograde early December. So I am seeing a little bit of drama associated with the Mars stuff. With the sun in Scorpio, it's a Mars-ruled sign. We're going to have Mercury in there as well. So it's not surprising. Okay, Mars is going to come online real, real strong. And I see the Five of Wands. There's going to be competition. There's going to be people who are really trying to assert themselves and trying to, establish themselves as some type of a leader or some type of importance. They really want to be heard. They want to be seen. They need the validation and all of that. But I look at this Hermit, I'm like, I don't think Leo is going to participate in any of that, at least not the mature Leos. I think the Leos who are weaker, who are deeply insecure, who really struggle with self-image, who struggle with their own self-respect, they will likely get into this metaphorical brawl. All right, they will get into the mess, into the petty drama, whatever. I don't think that the Leos here watching my tarot readings are going to be doing that though. But I'm not saying that all Leos are the same, because that's definitely not the case. And these Leos here they're just kind of spoiling it and ruining it for themselves, ruining what could be. I don't see you really needing to fight. Now, if you have to fight or stand up or defend yourself or whatever, of course, an emperor is 1,000,000% capable of doing that. So that's not an issue. You will do it if you have to. But this petty stuff, and even like kind of the more negative aspect of the Three of Cups, like it just makes me nervous that there are people around you that are trying to get stuff from you. And it's all very ridiculous. It feels ridiculous to me. Your Hermit energy is important because that's the way you pull back, and you're not going to be getting caught up in all of it. You're not going to be getting sucked in. You're not going to let it. I've been seeing this thing with like drooping energy. This is the type of thing where if you're up here, you immediately just sort of collapse. It droops your energy. And you just don't have time. You don't have time. You don't have the capacity. You don't have the brain, the bandwidth. You don't have the brain space to deal with it. And the Hermit is wise enough to know that Five of Wands is just a battle of ego. It's just a battle of pain, a battle of trauma. And you don't you're in a healing time. You don't have to be in that nonsense. Now, there might be some disappointments. I mean, there are going to be disappointments. There are going to be some losses. You're going to have to walk away from some things. You're going to have to turn people away. Maybe they'll even reject you. There might be just rejection kind of going on. Rejection is not the worst thing in the world right now. Even if it's something that you really want, or if they really want it from you, rejection is not the worst thing in the world. It's just simply time for so many people to just change paths and just change course. And rejection is a part of that process. So if there are disappointments, if there are losses, anything like that, that's just the Three of Swords saying it's time for this new direction to really come online. And it's the direction that you've been working on and manifesting and dreaming about and all of that. That's when the flow is going to be really, really important, because you're going to have to be able to deal with the Three of Swords and still continue to go on. You're going to have to be able to contend with everything that's going on around you and all the different personalities that you have surrounding you, while still staying connected to your purpose and still staying connected to your dream. Okay? But an emperor can do that because he's so self-secured. Queen of Cups will help. That emotional support will be really important for Leo, I suspect. Okay. All right. Let's pull out the clarifiers. So for those of you who are new, we're going to talk about all these. We're going to pull out a whole bunch of new cards. We're going to open all these up. We're going to talk about these in the comprehensive reading. It's another 25 to 30 minute reading. So if you want to join, the link is in the description box in the comment thread down below. So let's go ahead and start pulling out the cards so you can see what will be covered in that reading. So we're going to talk about the Emperor a little bit. What else does Leo need to know about the Emperor here? Another Knight of Coins. I love that. It's really hard to get caught up in drama when you are focused. And the Tower. Tower is not surprising either. It's a pivot month. The Sun, love it. Beautiful, Ten of Cups. Seven of Swords. See, I knew there were two sides to that Three of Cups. I knew it the minute it came out. Six of Swords. Beautiful. We got 10 of Cups and 10 of Coins. There's a lot with another Emperor. Amazing. So there's a lot of potential with the changes that you're making right now. Death, not surprising. 8 of Coins, 7 of Wands. Now for this Page. 4 of Coins, Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is not you. Knight of Swords, not you. Could be an element of you. We'll talk about it, but it's mostly someone else. 9 of Swords, 7 of Cups, the Devil, Queen of Coins, 5 of Cups, that's you. That's you, for sure. Another 3 of Cups. Page of Swords. Another Hermit. Another Knight of Cups. And a Judgment card. Judgment coming out quite a bit this month as well. Okay, this is where we're going to pick up, Leo. So if you want to join, you are more than welcome. Link in the description box and the pinned comment thread down below. Thank you all so much. Have an amazing month, and I'll talk to you soon.